It is a way to express a message to a larger audience, a way to voice your ideas and opinions, a means of entertainment, but it has also become the subject of a lot of controversy ever since it blew up in the mainstream market. Music has become a staple in human history. With an extensive variety of genres, many of them have come under fire for the lyrical content and the messages they convey. Throughout the duration of our documentary, we will be covering one specific genre and how society's presumptuous and uninformed views are detrimental to the artist's character and their reputation as a musician. We will be talking about the music deemed inappropriate for young people and why these accusations are false in every sense of the word. In the late 1960s, there was a small number of bands popping up around the grittier parts of the United Kingdom, specifically Birmingham, England, with a sound evolving from rock and roll, punk, and early alternative, but with a heavier, more sinister twist.
The early metal bands, along with hard rock, shock rock, and punk, gave birth to an abundance of subgenres, each with their own distinct sound, lyrics, and look. These are power metal, the new wave of British heavy metal, progressive metal, glam metal, pop metal, stoner metal, hardcore, thrash metal, the first wave of black metal, Norwegian black metal, grindcore death metal, Swedish death metal, metalcore, grunge, goth metal, industrial metal, hard alternative, new metal, and the new wave of American metal.
As time progressed, more of the subgenres that branched off got heavier and heavier, with more aggressive and abrasive instrumental work and harsh vocals preaching views that opposed the societal norm. Thrash metal in the 1980s was the founding genre in this cultural revolution, with bands such as Slayer questioning religious beliefs and following, Megadeth opposing the government's actions in foreign affairs, and Sepultura protesting against a communist Brazilian dictatorship oppressing its citizens and country. The music received a lot of backlash from many parents and authoritarian figures in America, leading to the founding of the PMRC, or the Parents Musical Resource Center. At the head of this committee was Tipper Gore, wife of at the time Senator Al Gore. The purpose was to increase parental control over the music deemed inappropriate for the young people, with content promoting violence, sexual themes, and drug abuse. The committee had compiled a list known as the Filthy 15.
Somebody approached our office that they want, the Senate committee is having a hearing on censorship with the PMRC and wanted to know if I would come and speak. Now my view of it, when I heard it, was they want me to carry the flag into battle. Hell yeah. Braveheart, baby. Braveheart wasn't even out, but that sort of mentality. Give me the fucking flag, man. Let's go. I have got my speech in my back pocket, which I have worked on for a few weeks and honed and refined till it's a freaking nuclear weapon. Folded up like a gazillion times, like a bad kid bringing his homework to school. You know, when I open it up and I'm flattening it out on the table, really deliberate, and they're going, oh man, this is a lamb being brought to the slaughter. And I start reading.
Since I seem to be the only person addressing this committee today who has been a direct target of accusations from the presumably responsible PMRC, I would like to use this occasion to speak on a more personal note and show just how unfair the whole concept of lyrical interpretation and judgment can be, and how many times this can amount to little more than character assassination.
And I am just tearing apart everything that they've accused me of, disproving beyond a shadow of a doubt that everything they've accused me of has been wrong, false, and they are scrambling. They were saying that Under the Blade was about sadomasochism and bondage. It was about my guitar player's throat operation.
It's not really a wild leap of the imagination to jump to the conclusion that that's about something other than surgery or hospitals, neither of which are mentioned in the song.
No, it's not a wild jump, and I think what I said in one part was that songs allow a person to put their own imagination, experiences, and dreams into the lyrics. People can interpret it many ways. Ms. Gore was looking for sadomasochism and bondage, and she found it. Someone looking for surgical references would have found it as well.
Since then, all music containing lyrical content deemed inappropriate for people under the age of 18 must have the infamous Parental Advisory Explicit Content badge. After diligently looking for hours through numerous articles relating teenage delinquency and heavy metal, we found over a dozen of them stating that there is a direct relation between the two subjects, but with little to no scientific proof backing them, while at the same time finding few articles stating that there is no direct effect on the brain, with clear scientific evidence. So to say the subject is controversial is an understatement. In the making of our documentary, we decided to go out and interview both staff and students of Richview Collegiate Institute to find their opinions on heavy metal and how it affects teens, as well as other controversies surrounding the musical genre.
Mostly rap.
I think, a good mix between country, rap, and pop.
I listen to hip hop.
Rap, electronic, a little bit of mainstream if I'm in the car. That's about it.
I listen to a lot of like alternative and punk music.
I primarily listen to like guitar music and really like acoustic, the Ed Sheeran type.
Country music.
Country music.
Classical.
Country, pop, contemporary Christian music.
Personally, I don't really classify it to one sort of genre, right? I just like listen to different kinds of music, and then like whatever I feel like I can connect to and like actually listen to and actually like feel something, then like I'll listen to that. Like I'll listen to like some Freddie Gibbs BFK, and then there's like I can listen to Lean on Me by Bill Withers.
I listen to Christian gospel music and classical music.
I listen to rap and folk.
I'm a modern rock guy.
Mostly rap, I guess.
I listen to jazz, I like classical, but I also really like heavy metal. It has always been music that I listen to.
Indie, alt rock, classical music, and like instrumental.
Yeah, like if someone else is listening to it, like I'll just like catch a bit of it.
Yeah, I've heard a bit of it.
Yeah.
I've heard it, yes.
Willingly? No. Have I ever been around people listen to heavy metal? Yes.
I've heard it, yep.
Yes, I have.
Occasionally.
My brother used to listen to it a while ago. I don't know. I've heard songs, but I don't like listen to it like just because I want to.
Guys screaming for no reason.
Yeah, like
kill the puppy kind of music.
Frightening, and really loud, like
pointless
instruments and concerts and stuff like that.
Loud, really violent, and there's a lot of screaming involved.
Drugs, murder, Satanism.
Goon, that's the way I think of it.
It's too loud.
Like people thrashing, like people with long hair thrashing their heads and like stuff like that.
Screaming.
A loudness of how the instruments are being played, whether it's guitar, drums, the loudness, more of loudness than the sound of the vocals.
That.
Yelling, screaming, inaudible words.
Think of Marilyn Manson first, and I think of a lot of screaming and drugs, I guess.
I think of Kiss, people dressed in black, makeup caked on their face, tongues out, just screaming.
First thing comes to mind, like guys like makeup kind of, I don't know, like screaming, like long hair, like they look kind of like goth almost.
High energy.
I guess the artwork and the lettering, to be honest. The album art is definitely synonymous to heavy metal. You wouldn't see that kind of art on punk or any other kind of heavier genre. So I guess that would actually be the first thing before the actual music.
Really?
I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, is that what? That's not related. There's no way jazz is like
Yeah,
so.
that's pretty. You gotta explain that.
Yeah. No, I wasn't aware of that.
Nope, I am not aware.
I am not.
No.
No, I've never been aware of heavy metal having connection with anything.
Absolutely. I mean, if you listen to metal, like metal is classical music, but with distortion. That's all. Like is my best way of describing it.
From a personal standpoint, from my community, basically heavy metal bands would be more censored in the types of having radio edits of their music if they chose to have heavy swearing in their lyrics. Just like hip hop has suffered the same thing. I prefer radio edits. Outside of that, no, that should be the parent and the child. And if you're a young adult, it doesn't matter. You listen to it, that's your choice.
I think if something's out in the public and it's on the airways, I think what the content is should be censored, yes. As in the lyrics and that kind of stuff.
No, I'm all for freedom of speech, and I think that everyone has the right to express themselves however they want to.
Bad way, for sure. It's just it's so loud and aggressive. There's no way people can just like listen to it and relax.
If the song's trying to get across a message, but
what message? Oh, that's all it is. It's screaming. It's no good.
It's aggressive and loud.
I mean, I heard all those reports about how like heavy metal and punk and stuff like that makes people like violent, but I feel like it's the person themselves that chose to listen to that stuff, and the music doesn't make you that way. People are just that way. It's kind of like the same argument they make with video games about how like Grand Theft Auto turns people violent, but then you see like people aren't becoming NFL players because they play Madden.
It's just like any other kind of music, in my opinion. Like, it's like, does rave music affect you in any sort of way? Does it make you like a rave kid? Not really. It's who you are.
I don't know, it depends on the person.
It really depends on the group, how their lyrics and their attitude and what they visualize in their concerts. That's where the negative positives come, and that comes from each individual heavy metal group.
Absolutely, yes, I do. Like, it kind of puts you in a bit of a frenzied state.
No, I don't think it affects anybody. It's music like anything else. Like, are you affected by listening to classical? Like, are you going to start singing an opera in the middle of the road for no reason? If you're listening to jazz, are you going to start like wearing suits and smoking that reefer? Like,
someone that is mentally stable, if I can say that, then I don't think that they usually let their music kind of dictate their actions.
I think it depends on the person.
To summarize, the definitive effects of heavy metal on the developing brain are the same as all other genres of music. It gives the listener a sense of individuality, a group to relate to, and something to mutually admire amongst peers and fellow fans. Heavy metal also frequently inspires young people to take up the instrument in which they so adore, which has numerous definitive and proven benefits, such as improving memory, structuring and phrasing of music and sentences, articulation, and cognitive abilities.